Hey everybody, welcome back, and this is part 2 of my review on the Tier 6 Polish medium tank, the 40TP. And it's been a while since part 1, and that's because I hate this tank so much I sold it. But I figured I need to give it a fair try, and yeah, you guys need to see what it's like. I need to do an honest review, and so I bought it back, and here we are. My overall impression of this tank, now I've played it a lot more, is that it's awful, which is why I sold it. It's one of the few tanks I know which, when you get to its top package, I think it's actually worse than the previous ones. The 90mm gun, in theory, should be a good gun, but it's terrible. It's inaccurate, it's got a low rate of fire, its penetration isn't great, but that seems to be a trait on these Polish tanks. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few tanks where I think to make it workable, you really do need to get some skills and equipment in there. I mean, to give an example, you need to have, you absolutely must have your advanced loader and your improved reloading skills on your commander. Otherwise, it's not playable. With those, you can knock the reload time down to around about 5 seconds. That said, it's still very lackluster. It plays a bit like a broken Hellcat or a broken T-25-2, the turreted American tank destroyer with the 90mm, which gives you an idea of how you should play it. You play it like a slow, cumbersome TD. You haven't got great view range. 360 is rather path. You've got no concealment. You're slow. And as you can see these clips here, you blow up really well. A lot. Like I said, it took me a while to click with this tank, which is why I actually finally got around to finishing off this review. Blows up so much. So yeah, here's some nice actual footage of it. Like I said just now, you play it like a tank destroyer. Not sneaky, but you're not a frontline tank. I know no medium should be considered a frontline tank, but this one especially so. You need meat shields. You need somebody to keep the opposition distracted while you can then drive around, pop in with your 90mm, and then find somewhere to go for your 5-6 second reload time. And this battle on Port, I hate this map, but I do keep getting good games on it, so maybe I should change my opinion. I've included this one because I was lagging to buggery. I really was. So much so that I almost just turned the console off. I was getting so much latency. I think I peaked at 300 at one point. You can see as I start twitching around. Whoop, there we go, a little bit of a judder and rubber banding. As you can see, it doesn't move particularly well. Which is one of the things I find odd about this tank. It doesn't have great armour. For a medium tank at its tier, some bits of its armour are okay, but it's really big. It kind of reminds me of when they first brought out the Japanese medium tanks, and they were considered quite large. This one feels a lot like that. But not as good. I'd rather play the Chinu or the Chinukai or any of the lower tier Japanese mediums over this. But if you've got some teammates who can distract the enemy, or if the red team are being particularly dumb and not looking at you, and as long as you don't get carried away and pushed too hard, you can chuck out some damage.
Penetration.
Now, one of the issues I have with this tank is that the 90mm gun does baffle damage. And you can see here I've got quite good reload speed, which is nice. It makes it a lot more playable. Accuracy, yeah, it's not great, and I'm lagging so much I can't really aim very well anyway. Does this one hit? Ooh, but I'm not picking up much alpha, which, when you consider this thing's meant to be getting... Let's have a quick check. Yeah, what's that? I'm meant to be getting around about 156 pen for 240 damage, and I have not seen that in any games. That's entirely because of the new RNG change that they've brought in, which means, sure, you're more likely to pen a target, but the target gets less damage as a result, which I think is a dumb way of doing it. I mean, the whole issue with the RNG complaints was that it was too unreliable for aiming, penning and damage. I mean, there's no point having a big slow gun if you're going to be doing, you know, really low damage, because it just over exaggerates the bonus that light tanks get. Well, not light tanks, but smaller gunned tanks, because their improved rate of fire, their higher DPM, is going to leave you dead in most cases. I honestly thought this Cromwell here was going to take me out, but I don't know if he was lagging. Yeah, so equip with anything you can which can improve your reload is the main thing I'd focus on. I wouldn't worry too much about equipment for accuracy, because the .4 isn't going to be improved much by your equipment. I think it's better just to get the reload speed down. Brain melting. The reload speed down. The more shells you can get into the air, the more chance you stand of hitting somebody, and the more damage you're going to be getting and the more kills. So yeah, not a bad game considering I was lagging. To be honest, I would possibly have pushed a little bit harder if I wasn't lagging so much. But I don't make it into the top. Yeah, here we go, just over 1,000 damage. And I've been, since I bought the tank back, I've been consistently getting that actually. Like I said, since the tank clicked with me and I realised you just play it like a broken tank destroyer, and less like a mobile medium. It's playable. It's still probably the worst tank I've played at this tier. And I think at the very least it either needs a mobility boost or a damage boost to make it balanced, because otherwise it just seems needlessly broken, especially with the present RNG changes. Anyway, I'm only including one battle play in this because all my other battle plays are on my PlayStation console, and it won't talk to my laptop. Apparently they hate each other for some reason. I don't know. Maybe my laptop plays arty in its downtime. I don't know. But yeah, to wrap it all up, it's not a good tank. It can be playable and you can have good games in it, and I'm sure there are people out there doing astounding games in it, but it just requires too much effort, I think, to make it fun. I don't think a tank should require 4 or 5 skills and lots of expensive equipment to make it playable, and unfortunately this tank does, which is a bit poo really. Anyway, take care guys, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.